What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Total Specialist. Now, you might be asking yourself, wow, that's bright. Let me see if I can turn this down. Well, okay, that's kind of better, but you also might be asking yourself, why are we going through this whole week 4 as a recap video instead of the individual workouts? And, well, let me tell you, it's been a really rough month. It's been a long time. Like, I've been struggling a lot for a while now, but to keep it short because nobody really cares, I've just been going into the gym during this particular period, like, very unfocused, very distracted, and as a result, like, sometimes I'll go in there and I'll be there for like an hour or 2 hours, and I've only done like 2 movements, 3 movements. Sometimes I'm there and I don't want to film. Like, throughout this entire week, I haven't really wanted to film at all. Just mentally, just not there, right? Just checked out. And sometimes I'll go in and I'll literally do the primary lifts and then just leave. Like, I won't do any accessory movements, and it's not good. It's very bad. I thought about retroactively. Or would it be retroactively? I guess it might be retroactively. Fuck, I don't know. But I thought about, like, trying to pull a fast one with you guys. And, like, putting on the same clothes and trying to film the accessory movements at a later date. There's one thing you guys want to know about me, or need to know about me, is that when I was young, I'm talking about when I was in high school, I was a pathological liar. I would lie about everything, even if it was, like, the smallest, most insignificant thing. I would lie. I would do that shit all the time. Thought I was sort of over that in my adulthood, but it wasn't exactly the case. And then recently, over the last couple of years, like, certain, like, trying to, like, hide things from people and lie has really caught up to me in a very bad way, and almost affected me in such a profound way that it would have derailed my life completely, and I probably would have just, like, I don't know, given up, to put it lightly. So I made a pact with myself that I would never lie ever again. Now, so far, I've done my best to keep that promise, especially on this channel. I've never once lied on this channel. I feel like that would defeat the purpose of it, you know? This is about growth and sort of self-improvement, and lying is a direct opposition to that, you know? So I've never once lied to you guys, and I will never lie to you guys, but I've been tempted, and this is one of the times. But I decided to own my sort of mistake, my laziness, lack of focus, and just do what I can in terms of showing you guys as much of this program as possible. So that's why we're doing this as a recap. I have all the footage from the primary movements, some of the accessories, or mainly some of the assistance movements, like the ones that you want to track, like, very closely. I'll show you what I've got so you can get an idea of what this week was about, because this was actually a very successful week in terms of the primary movements. I just wish that mentally I was there. Like, I just wasn't there mentally. I don't know. I've been having this problem recently. I'll probably talk about it in a vlog, where it's just like, I can't focus. I don't know what's going on with me. Also, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I am sick. All right. I've been getting sick, like, a lot last month. A couple weeks ago, I had, like, a stomach thing, which, you know, really kept me at home, if you know what I mean. And now I've got this cold. I can feel it in my throat. It absolutely sucks. I hope it's not too gross. But that's, like, also, like, interrupted my gym schedule. I probably would be in, like, week 6 by now if I wasn't derailed by the fact that I was sick. So I've had to take multiple days in a row off. So one time I had to take almost a full week off because I was sick. And it's just, right now I'm, like, a couple of days into taking this week off. So it's just not been a good time. So bear with me, guys, but hopefully this is still somewhat valuable to you if you're watching this. Anyway, so let's get into it. I'm not going to dilly-dally anymore. I'm going to pull up the program now. I'm going to just cross-reference it with my numbers that I've got in my log here. I might need my glasses. This is going to be really, really bad. Yeah, the reflection's pretty bad in here, but hopefully I'll probably just put the clips over so you don't have to see any of that shit. But so we started off the week with some bench press. We had a top set of 4 at RP9, and I selected 325 pounds for my top set of 4, and it was pretty maximal. I will say I don't know 100% if it was a 9, like absolute. Like, maybe it was an RP, like, 8.5. I feel like if I had chipped this, I still would have hit 4. But this was very, very tough set and was an all-time PR. Of course, my best set of 4 ever, which is pretty cool, honestly. And then we had back down sets with 305. Now, last week, I couldn't make it through all the way. I had to double drop. But this week, some reason, I guess I was waiting for it to be an RP9, and it never felt like an RP9. I got all 4 sets of 4 with 305. I think on the very, very last set, it might have been kind of close to an RP9, but it wasn't quite there. It was a good indication of how this week was going to go, I think. Moving on to squats. Now, for squats, I did something pretty crazy. I loaded 410. I guess it's not that crazy compared to what it was last week, but I wanted 410 really, really bad. This is the first time I put 400 pounds on my back since 2022. No joke. This is the first time in 2 years, almost 3, that I have touched 400 pounds. So I'm going to spoil it, of course. I hit this for a triple at 8.5 to 9 RPE. Definitely a 9 for sure. But I'm very disappointed with this set. And the reason I'm disappointed with this set is twofold. Number one, I feel like a lot of these reps were high, if not all of them were high. I could feel myself stopping short on the reps. I was very scared, obviously, because this is the first time I put 400 pounds on my back since 2022, like I said. So I was having a little bit of bar fear, and I let that overthinking get to me. So these were a little high. And number two, I feel like I defaulted back to my old squat form, which was this sort of like mid-bar type squat form with a bit of torso lean, instead of the more high bar squat form that I was trying to adapt that is more upright. And I'm kind of disappointed that my body, like subconsciously, because I did not do this intentionally, sort of defaulted to this style of squatting. And I think it's probably the reason I was high as well. But those are the 2 reasons why I'm very disappointed in this set. I should be very happy that I hit 400 for 3 reps. I mean, over 400. But this is kind of holding me back in my joy. But hey, I guess I should be celebrating because 400 for 3 reps is crazy. Like 410 for a squat triple is an all-time PR. And it was a long time coming, and I've been wanting to PR on this lift forever. So I should be happy about it, but I'm not. I'm just a perfectionist, I guess. Can't have shit. Back offs, 300, 310, 320. Sets of 5, nothing. Not even close to 8 RP, I don't think. And then we had close grip bench after that. So I did end up doing an all-time PR close grip bench. I did 235, 245, 255 for 8 all-time PR, and then a back down set of 230 for 8, which was a 10% drop from the top set. And guys, I'm still nowhere close to RP8 on these. I really don't think I'm that close. So we're just going to keep going, right? And I was supposed to do RDLs, but I didn't. I didn't record them. So no RDLs. I'm sorry, guys. I failed you. Next, we had Larson. This is my favorite lift of the week, was this Larson press. So Larson press was a single at 8, and I selected 330. Now, the first set, I actually got it, but I fell off the bench kind of and had to catch myself with my foot. So I didn't want to count that because technically it's not a Larson press. And that set pissed me off so much because I was seriously worried that I wasn't going to be able to do this this lift. I after I fell off the bench, the first time that's ever happened to me, I fell off. But after that, I was like, oh my God, am I going to have to like sub this out? Like, it's crazy. But then I was like, okay, I'm going to try it one more time. And I attempted the 330 for a single on Larson press again after about 5 minutes. And I got it. Now, was it RP8? Probably. It might even have been an RP9, realistically. I mean, I've never even touched anything close to this heavy on Larson press, and I was very, very excited that I was able to hit this. I still am a little concerned, though, because of the fact that I did almost fall off that bench. These benches are narrow as shit. I hate them so much. They are insanely narrow. And they're also low to the ground, by the way, so it can't get good leg drive. So that's probably why my Larson press is so good in comparison to my bench. Well, at least that's a contributing factor. I'm still concerned. I still don't know if I will keep this in the program because of that. I don't want to sub it out. I feel like it's been very beneficial for me, more beneficial than a certain other accessory movement that I might actually end up swapping out. I don't want to be falling off the freaking bench. The only thing is I don't know what I would sub for this, right? Maybe I could do a feet up, which would give some stabilization, but it would be less than regular. Anyway, we did 2 sets of 4 with 275. I kept 275 for both the sets of back down 4s because I was pretty gassed after this. And then I did 2 sets of 7 with 270 pounds for the regular bench. And that was the end of that workout in terms of the workout footage. And then the final day of the week, we got deadlifts. A double on deadlifts at 8.5 RPE. And I decided, because I had 385 last week, there's only one place to go for this week's set of deads. And that is 405. My 1 rep max in air quotations, and I doubled it at an 8.5 RPE. And I would say that it was maybe a little less than an 8.5 RPE, but not by much. Like maybe a 7.5 at best and a regular 8 at worst. But it was definitely feeling very, very maximal. And then we had a back off set of 4 with 350 at an RP 8. And that was pretty tough. I think it was a little easier than the top set. I mean, it should be, right? But it was pretty tough. And then we had our 3x4 with 305. But I actually screwed up and was thinking that the back down set was going to be 310. So I just left 315 on the bar, which is not what the program told me to do. I was supposed to do 305, but I ended up doing 315 from back off set of 4s. And it was fine. Like, it was no big deal whatsoever. But yeah, not following the program. That was my mistake. Honestly, the last 2 weeks, deadlifts have been going awesome. The only thing that I'm a little concerned about was, like, again, like, I'm just trying to make sure that my tech is relatively good. I'm trying to make sure that there's no ramping issue. I feel fine, so that's good. But the last 2 sessions have been kind of an anomaly of good deadlift sessions. Whereas, you know, I remember the session prior to this, which was like week 2, deadlifts were feeling absolutely horrible. And, like, I really don't know if I can, like, rely on the lift to be a bit more consistent. Although I feel like my technique has been going much better, but I've also been paying a lot more closer attention to my setup and how I feel throughout the lift. I don't know. We'll only be able to see moving forward. And then we finished off the footage with SSB squats. 265 pounds for our set of 4 here. And this is the lift that I'm thinking about swapping out. I don't feel like I'm getting a lot out of it. It doesn't feel good on my body. But the main reason I'm actually going to swap these out, I think, is because they have moved the safety squat bar downstairs. And when I went upstairs to look for the one, because I thought they had ordered another one and now there were two, when I went upstairs to look for it, it wasn't there. So that makes me think that they moved the safety squat bar downstairs. And let me tell you, like, the racks for squatting downstairs with the safety squat bar specifically, they feel horrible. Like, the last 2 weeks I've done SSB downstairs have been the worst. It's just uncomfortable as hell. Not to mention the fact that this safety squat bar, I think, sucks. Like, in general, I think this one is a bad safety squat bar. The camber, first of all, it's not a very aggressive camber. It's just like a slight camber. Second of all, it's in line with the handles, which means you're not actually getting a bunch of the effects that you want out of a camber. And I might go into detail more on that later. But yeah, I'm legitimately thinking out of everything on this list, because the safety squat bar sucks and I hate it and I hate squatting on it downstairs, that this might be one that I say goodbye to after this week. We got a back offset to 7 with 230. And that wraps it up, guys. That's pretty much it for week 4. So, as a recap, this was the heaviest week of the block, of course. Squatted 410 for a triple. Bench 325 for a set of 4. Larson pressed 330 for a single. And deadlifted 405 for a double. All at RP, we'll say 8.5, average 8.5, 9. Pretty much, which is exactly what you want. That means I've already doubled my deadlift max. So I might have to adjust the numbers moving forward. I could just sort of leave them and just see what the program does. I don't know. But we kind of knew this moving going into the program that these numbers were old. I'm basing this off of maxes that are going to be 3 years old this December. But I legitimately have not hit anything above them. So they are my true maxes, quote unquote. Except for the bench press. The bench press is like the truest of the true maxes because I hit that last year. I'm not too sure what to do moving forward. Next week is a deload, so we'll probably take it easy. I probably won't sub out SSB. I might sub it out next week. But overall, I mean, very, very successful week in terms of hitting a bunch of PRs. Really happy about it, you know. I'm pretty much feeling like the strongest I've ever felt, which is how you really want to feel on the end of a block, is the strongest you've ever been. So, I mean, if this continues, I'm kind of on pace to hit something very close. I don't want to say it like as a jinx, but I'm thinking I might be on pace to hit a 1,300 total by the end of the year or the first week of January. Which is a pretty sick goal. I think the gains are probably going to take a much slower approach moving forward, just because now I'm sort of at my peak strength, which means that, everything beyond this point is going to be sort of untested waters. Actually, I'm going to turn this off because I'm not talking about this right now. I got to just come in confident, not being afraid. Like doing the opposite of what I did on squats this week, where I was afraid and that caused me to be high. That caused me to default back to previous form that I didn't want to. I just got to come in and just have a blind confidence so that I can actually hit the lifts that I want to hit. So anyway, the camera card's getting full. My sick brain is starting to get delirious. I'm getting a bit of a headache now. So I'm going to close this video out by just saying I'm very sorry that this is how the week 4 turned out. This is supposed to be the most exciting week of the block, and I kind of feel like I let you guys down in that regard. I'm going to do my absolute best to not ever do this again. I'm going to try to get you all the workouts with all the accessories, and don't be lazy. and don't get distracted, which I know is easier said than done, but I really am gonna try, guys. I'm very, very sorry that this is how this worked out. Anyway, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know down and below if you guys want to see something specific next time. And, well, I'll catch you then. Lens cap.